Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, it is Elvis Week. We are celebrating the king of rock and roll with a special performance from award-winning Elvis tribute artist Danny Vernon.
Plus, get your singing voice ready. How you could audition today to be the next American Idol.
Then Stretch Lab is teaching us some assisted stretching exercises, a look at their new studio in Mercer Island.
And we're learning how to cook with wine. Sorrel is showing us how to make spiced red tomato ice cream with pistachio cake. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hey, happy Monday, and welcome to another amazing week. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. You know what I love? That Bill and John just came in here to like air five us before leaving. That is so nice.
So sweet.
You know what's not nice? This weather we're going to be having. It's going to be so hot, and I don't have AC in my house. Are you lucky enough to have some?
I bought some air conditioning. I did. I'm loving it. I'm here for it. Yeah. Yeah. Look, after going through the winter, I am very much like, let's bring it on. Let's keep it sunny. Let's keep it going. It is a little hot, but you know,
a little bit.
A little air conditioning can't fix it.
So if you're like, okay, it's gotten hot, what are you going to do to cool down?
Jump in a lake around here. I did that over the weekend, which was fun. I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I feel like jumping in a Washington lake is better than sitting at a luxury pool.
Ooh.
Because you get so many beautiful views around you. You get to look at all the trees. Jump in a lake. That's what I say. What about you?
So I'm more of an inside girly, though I do love a little bit of time at the beach. I usually, you know, like run into Puget Sound if it's really, really hot.
Yeah.
But I'll go to a movie. I don't do that much. It's like nice and cool in there and dark, and you can forget that it's 90 degrees for a little bit.
Lots of ways to beat the heat, and we hope you are doing that too this week. All right, let's get into some of our stories for today. American Idol is back to look for its next star.
Yes, for the fourth year in a row, the show is hosting virtual nationwide searches. Okay, you do need to register for a slot online. American Idol alum and Federal Way's own Ian Tongi is set to join in as well with some tips for Idol hopefuls. That man's voice, by the by, I mean, obviously beautiful. And, you know, to be eligible for this season, you do need to be at least 15 years old and a U.S. resident. We do have a link with more information for you. fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Maybe we should audition together.
The duet, the screeching cat duet.
Bring our karaoke skills to the American Idol auditions. I don't think we'd make it to see the judges.
Look, if you put us on mute, it looks like we know what's happening.
Yeah, we bring the energy of like worldwide pop stars. We just lack talent.
You can look. Then we would be perfect. Who would like that?
Did you know Simon Cowell hasn't been one of the judges since like 2010 of American Idol?
Has it been that long?
I was looking it up today because I'm like, where's Simon and these judges here? It's Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan, and Simon's just not been doing this for like 13 years.
All right.
It's been a little while since I watched American Idol.
That's true.
But you know what? Maybe we'll just have to appear on it. No,
a little appearance.
All right, the Writers Guild of America has received a proposal from the major Hollywood studios. So the Guild's now evaluating the offer. We expect to have a response from them this week. And it comes after both sides recently returned to the negotiating table, working to end a strike that hit 100 days last week. Late night television shows, they haven't aired new episodes since May, if you can believe that. And now it's going to push back fall television premieres. I've entered the acceptance phase of both of these strikes just going on for a while. I'm like, let's just take the time because I can't really do anything about it here, right? We're just going to take time to like catch up on a show that we haven't maybe watched before. Do you have anything like that where you're like, okay, maybe I'll go back to something?
Okay, so my TV show watching moments are like between nap time and bedtime, whatever. And I actually had an opportunity. Binge watched Good Omens, which, on Prime, which I saw the first season, loved it. and they already had all 6 episodes up there, so I was like, I'm doing this.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Mine, I think, is going to be Seinfeld because, believe it or not, I did not watch Seinfeld growing up.
No way.
Yeah, and I even lived in New York. I heard the references all the time. Anytime I'm like on an airplane or someone has it on, I think it's hilarious. It just like is not, and there's so many seasons and so many episodes. I feel like, well, if I see one, I've got to see them all to like really feel like I've watched it. So I think I might jump into Seinfeld.
Ooh, okay, and then we can all just make the jokes on the show.
Yeah.
Bring it all back around.
Or maybe you've been making them this whole time and I just haven't been catching them because I haven't watched those episodes. But,
I love
you know, take some time, watch a show, catch up on it, right? Make the best of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we all got to do, right?
Let these girlies work it out.
I know. All right, we were talking about Lionel Richie a moment ago, you know, American Idol, but now fans are upset after he canceled his sold-out show Saturday at Madison Square Garden 1 hour after it was supposed to have started, okay? Fans already seated and ready to go. He ended up blaming poor weather conditions, saying that he actually couldn't fly into New York. The concert has been rescheduled for tonight, and he is set to be at Climate Pledge Arena on September 11th. We gotta make those calls sooner, though. If that plane had not taken off, like, oh, I would have been pretty heated.
Oh, yeah. Maybe give yourself more time to get to those shows, you know, work it out before you come to Seattle, his whole team, right? I just think, like, for all the fans that are in New York, they're probably making it work and doing a little bit of rearranging to get to see it again. But there's a lot of people that may have traveled from other cities, taken time off of work, you know, booked hotel rooms, booked travel that they maybe couldn't adjust or it would have been extremely expensive to adjust. So it's kind of disappointing for them. I really hope they, like, kind of tighten up those travel schedules so that doesn't keep happening. Okay, on to the next story. It sounds like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are not going to be fighting in a cage after all.
Oh, well, my day is ruined, Carly.
Absolutely. Mark says that Elon hasn't been serious enough about it and it's time to move on. However, Mark says that if Elon decides to be serious, he can still call him. Apparently, Elon has to have surgery. He now wants to do a practice round in Mark's yard. I mean, there were talks about this fight being streamed online to raise money for charity. I read 2 days ago they were going to do it in Italy. They were saying it's not going to happen at the Coliseum, but it could happen in another venue. So, I mean, it seemed like it seemed ridiculous from the beginning. Sure. But then it seemed like, well, plans are in the works and we're talking to officials about where this fight is going to be held and all of this. It almost seems like that movie Idiocracy a little bit.
It does.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not going to happen after all. I don't think either of them actually wanted to do it. I think they just wanted to seem like they were puffing up their chests and ready to do it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it was definitely, I mean, there were talks, but they were all kind of surface level chit chat. And I think, you know, maybe Mark did the right thing by saying, okay, it doesn't actually look like this is happening. So we're just going to, you know, it's not dead, but it's dormant.
He's probably sick of being asked about it, right?
I know, absolutely. But we'll have to see. I'm sure this is not the last we're going to hear about this.
Probably not.
So for the first time in 30 years, Vanna White is missing an episode of the upcoming season of Wheel of Fortune. She'll be absent from some of the Teachers Week episodes. So White was actually sick during filming, and that taping couldn't be rescheduled because of the new school year. So instead, the 2023 California Teacher of the Year, Bridget Donald Blue, filled in for her. Well, it was bound to happen, Carly. I mean, 30 years and not a single sick day.
That's a long time to not take a sick day. Do we think Vanna White gets sick days?
Interesting. You know, I believe that she maybe didn't feel well, and but we have been talking about contract issues, so I don't know.
Could have been a move.
It could have been a move. You never know.
You never know. Oh man, that's a long time to never take a sick day. But I know they film like multiple episodes in a day, so even if it was one day that she missed, I'm sure she missed.
She might have missed the whole week. Yeah.
All right, the Barbie movie, we've been talking about it for quite a while. It brought in another $34 million at the box office over the weekend. This movie has now come in first place for 4 weeks in a row. Globally, the Greta Gerwig directed movie, it's earned about $1.18 billion, that's billion with a B. The #1 movie of the year so far, Super Mario Brothers, with $1.3 billion. And Hollywood analysts say that Barbie will likely beat that. It seems like it's really close at this point, probably within like a week, I would think. Oppenheimer took the runner-up spot again this weekend, and its global total is now about $650 million. What I'm taking away from this is we should let women run things a little bit more often because they're great.
You know what I loved is I love to see that the haters early on, there were some people that had some, we'll call them big reactions to the movie even existing. One personality even burning some Barbies in protest.
Ooh.
Very silly stuff. And you know, guessing that it wasn't going to do well. And to them, I say, must be hard.
Look
movie's doing well. Yeah, look at the numbers. The movie's doing great, and I think it really speaks to maybe some things that are missing in the industry and some voices that haven't been heard, and we see how lucrative that can be too.
Yeah, and I'm just happy for them too because it took so long for them to get this movie made. I mean, you know, many years to make it happen, and I know there was a lot that, you know, the producers and directors and everything were like up against there. So I'm excited that they made it happen, and I think, you know, there's such a disproportionate amount of like male directors to female directors.
Sure.
So I'm really happy for all the doors that this opened for, you know, future female directors, future female producers. Margot Robbie obviously started it. She also produced it. So I think this is pretty cool.
It is.
All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, Sorrel is teaching us how to cook with wine. We're also going to be trying some of their creative desserts made with dry ice.
Ooh, very nice. But first, The Rock and Jason Momoa are speaking out after the heartbreaking Maui wildfires. We're checking in with our TMZ correspondent about their message to the community. It is time to take a look at what is popping in celebrity news.
And for that, we are bringing in Jacob Wasserman from TMZ. Hi, Jacob. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going? Happy Monday.
Good. Happy Monday. Okay, let's get into some of these stories because I heard that Tory Lanez now spending time behind bars after shooting Megan Thee Stallion. What has life been like for him there?
Well, we just found out what life is like. Apparently, while he's in Los Angeles County Jail, I mean, it sounds pretty rough. He's not in general population, and that's because just due to his celebrity and publicity surrounding his case, they wanted him to be in a more secluded space. But with that, he has a lot of alone time. We're being told that he only has 3 hours per week to go outside and enjoy some fresh air. He's being monitored every 30 minutes by guards, and you know, it's a huge challenge ahead of him. I actually spoke with Tory's attorney last week, who said that right now he's just leaning on faith, his family and friends, and a bunch of his fans too, who are still in support of him, and he is vowing to appeal this case. So while it might seem unlikely that anything's really going to change after being handed a 10-year sentence, he's still not going to go down without a fight.
So do we think he's going to be, you know, solo this entire 10 years? Or at some point, do you think he would move to the general kind of population?
I mean, I think given just his celebrity stature, they're going to put him in a space where he's not going to be threatened or a target, at least. I don't think we know that definitively. It will be a month from now or so that we should find out what prison he's going to go to. Like I said, right now he's in county jail, but we should be finding that out soon.
All right, well, switching gears here, The Rock and Jason Momoa, they're speaking up after those devastating wildfires in Maui. So what are their messages to the people?
I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking. As you mentioned, the death toll now is approaching 100 people. And Jason Momoa, The Rock, they both have heritage and deep ties to Hawaii. And both of them this past weekend were just speaking out, talking about how people can get involved and donate if need be. On their social media channels, they listed a few nonprofits that people can donate to. And Jason Momoa in particular was encouraging people to not visit Maui. Apparently, there has still been some visitors and tourists who are insisting on going through with their vacations. But Jason was saying that is the last thing that people need right now. And both him and The Rock were just applauding the work that's been done thus far, but there's still a lot more to do. And there's been so much damage done. Another celebrity couple that has help people out is Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. They donated $100 million towards relief funds. So that's at least a good thing that some celebrities are stepping in. But like I said, I mean, there's a lot more that needs to be done here. It's really sad.
Absolutely. And even with these wonderful donations that should certainly keep coming in, it's going to take so long to recover from this. I mean, we still don't have a final number on the death toll, and this is now being called the worst wildfire in the last 100 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely devastating. At least we could take solace in the fact that some celebrities are using their platforms and are stepping up when people need them the most. But a long way to go.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? Mr. Rogers, when bad things happen, he says, look for the helpers. And I love to hear it. Jacob Wasserman, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
And don't forget, you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m.
Still to come on Studio 13 Live, check this out, how delivery robots are being tested out in Nevada.
And up next, we're going to be learning how to make the spiced tomato ice cream and pistachio cake with Sorrel. We'll be right back. Hey, it's time for Emerald Eats, where we get to highlight some delicious food in our area.
Yeah, today we're joined by Aaron Tekulve with Sorrel in Madison Valley. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay, we've been chatting about this actually because this is going to be so fun, but this is actually the only Seattle restaurant with 100% Washington wine list. So talk to us about why that's so important to you.
Absolutely. So years back, I was introduced to Washington wines doing small winemakers dinners back in 2013 at a wine cellar in Issaquah, and really fell in love with the people of this wine industry. We have some amazing people, from vineyards to what happens at the wineries, and then what's served in the restaurants. But it's well underserved. And, you know, as I like to say, conversations to have over beers. There's a lot of reasons for that. But the truth is, we have so much talent here. And I firmly believe that people in general just want great glasses of wine. They don't care where it comes from typically. And if they do, we have wines on our list that I am sure I can say it's the most hardened Francophile out there, that there is a wine for you in the state of Washington.
Ooh, a challenge.
Yes. Oh yes, I challenge everyone. Come join us and we will have a wine that will convert you at least over a glass. We have some really special stuff from some people who do some really tremendous work. And wines, they're now being recognized nationally and internationally for the kind of work that's happening in our state. It's a pretty special and exciting place.
Looks like you are very good at your job. Okay, something else cool. I know you work with local ranches and local farms to find this perfect cuisine. Tell us about that.
So Sorrel is a modern Pacific Northwest restaurant, really highlighting what happens in our farms and our ranches through a 9 to 10 course tasting menu and also 4-course menu. You know, I have been so fortunate to be introduced to so many wineries as well, but farms and ranches that the same kind of thing. Hard-working people who are just salt of the earth that you want to represent, but also things are always more delicious the closer they come to your restaurant.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we really want to like support things like climate change or anything like that, just know like your tomatoes, if you're getting them and you're eating them out of season, there are greenhouse gases on trucks that they're coming up, you know, from Southern California and things. Instead, if you get them locally, you're supporting a small farm, you're doing these things, but they taste way more delicious and you get variety. You get like the little Black Prince that's over there. That's one of my absolute favorite tomatoes that you will ever have.
Oh, fun.
So it can, you know, surpass any slicer that you're going to work with. So the thing is, it's just we're really fortunate to live in one of the most diverse regions in the entire world, being in the Pacific Northwest. And so I just choose to, the majority of what we do, you know, most menus are solid 75 to 80% Washington Pacific Northwest ingredients only.
And these ingredients that you're using, you make some very interesting things with them as well. We're doing a spiced red tomato ice cream with a pistachio cake, sweet corn crumble, and basil. How do you come up with this?
Well, you know, it's eating lots. And when you eat a lot, then you get these flavor memories and things that work. So while we're talking about now, I'm going to start to assemble a few things. So one thing is talking about Washington wines. So we work, again, purely with Washington wines. This is a little Cabernet Sauvignon. We're making a little mulled red wine that is going to be used as part of our sorbet today. So this is a little Demerara brown sugar that we're putting in there, and a little spice blend here. I'm a huge fan of warming spices. So we have some cinnamon, some allspice clove, and black peppercorn. And those are going to just steep away. Now, this is something that takes 2 hours to really infuse all the flavors. So that's something that we want to talk about. But if you have wine that you're like, oh, I opened up this bottle and forgot to put the cork back in it, and now it's oxidized and doesn't taste great, you can make great things. The truth is that with wine and cooking with it, it just needs to be something that is palatable. It doesn't have to be your favorite wine. In fact, you know, the only reason you should be cooking with that is that you forgot that, put that cork back in it, frankly. Enjoy that wine. But there's plenty of other great wines out there that you can use to cook with that give you a tremendous amount of flavor, whether you're going to use it in dessert or whether you're going to use it for something like making a vinaigrette for a salad where you might cook down some white wine and infuse it with some herbs. Okay, so we have this going. We're going to be making a crumble. So here at the restaurant, we offer an omnivore, pescatarian, vegetarian, and vegan menu. This is way so we can be as inclusive to all people and their diets and whatnot. Here with all of our crumbles, we make them gluten-free. We do a lot of dairy-free as well because we run into people who have both. In this case, we're using a little sweet corn that is freeze-dried, a little sugar, flake salt, and our gluten-free flour. We're going to put that in there, and then we're going to mix that up just really quick with a little bit of butter. So this is basically like if you ever made an apple pie with a streusel top.
Ooh,
Pretty much the exact same process, except we're doing this separate. So if you have that recipe that you love, go ahead and just mix that together and then put that on a little tray and bake it separately, and then top your ice cream, eat it with a spoon, whatever you want, right? Put it like this on there. You want it to look kind of like wet sand.
Okay.
That's going to give you that nice crunchy texture in different sizes, and then we'll pop this in a little oven and let that bake away. Okay. Let's get on to plating some dessert here.
Okay.
So we have some pistachio cakes here. Big fan of pistachio and strawberries, or excuse me, tomatoes are great friends. We use strawberries at the restaurant like tomatoes, and we'll use tomatoes like berries because they're all basically a fruit, but they share a lot of the same flavor profile. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to play with a little liquid nitrogen. So here we have a pot. And, you know, right around 300 below zero here.
Wow.
Is it Halloween? I feel like we're making a witch's brew. This is exciting.
And we're going to put in a little bit of this tomato ice cream. So this is just an ice cream base that we have put into a whipped cream canister.
Oh my gosh, a lot is happening right now.
And then what I'm going to do is I'd like you to take these two spatulas and just chop like this for me, okay?
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to put just a little bit of, this is a basil sauce. And we make with a little, again, with white wine. Little cooked down white wine.
Okay, we have about 30 seconds. Are we going to make it?
Oh, we're going to make it. Little crumble here.
Okay.
And then we're going to take this here.
What?
And so this is just, you know, if you ever had Dippin' Dots back in the 90s.
And we get to use our little shovels.
And
Our shovel spoons. Check that out.
be nice and cold.
Nice and cold.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like this. Oh,
So we call that dragon's
thank
breath
you
right
so
there.
much. We posted lots more info on Sorrel on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Yes, this is so good. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, some assisted stretches we're learning about with the new Stretch Lab studio in Mercer Island.
But first, get your pirate hat ready. Why a home listing in Las Vegas has gone completely viral. You know what? You won't find any oceanfront property in Las Vegas, but you can live like you're on the beach. So this one house has gone viral because the inside, it's themed like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney. Whoa. So these owners say that they spent $100,000 on the updates and the decor about 10 years ago. It was listed in late July for $350,000. On its very first day, they had 40 showings, and it's now reportedly under contract. If that falls through, though, Mireya, are you in?
I am so out. I'm gone. Oh my gosh, $100K on those updates? Wow. You know what? When it's the right house for a particular person, you cannot change their mind, but it's not for me.
That's true. I don't know. I've never really thought of doing like a full-on theme house, you know? Or if anything, I would do it in like prints, art prints, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a colored pillow, but that seems very vanilla compared to this. So people really went all in on it.
That house says we're boring, is what that house says to us.
Yeah.
All right, people at the university in Nevada, they have been getting some deliveries from a little robot. Take a look at this. The state legislature actually passed a law to allow these personal delivery devices to go on sidewalks and cross the street. Now, others across Nevada might get to enjoy the same thing, okay? Students and even Uber drivers say that this will be a helpful tool to give access to more people. And it looks fun, but I'm just wondering how, like, accurate it is. I don't know.
I would think, like, people might steal the food from those deliveries, right? If you saw, I mean, you know, punks on the street. See,
those punks are all over the streets.
Those hooligans, you know, seeing this. I don't know. I could see like college students messing around or high school kids messing around or whatever, being like, ooh, what's inside of here? And like kind of intercepting it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I was more into the idea of the drones. I thought were going to be doing all of our deliveries. I feel like there were some drones recently or a few years ago that were delivering pizzas and that was all over the news. But that seems safer from all the hooligans.
Where are you living? There's so many hooligans.
There's hooligans everywhere.
I will say that I live out of Snohomish County, and I saw people already doing this. But
really?
Yeah, but then you'd see the driver like set up all the things and then just like wait for them to return, make sure nothing broke.
That's a chill job.
Yeah, it does sound like a pretty good job.
You're wrangling your robot wrangler.
Robot wrangler, I like it. We'll get a little name tag.
Jobs of the future. Okay, this new texting trend has people asking, is punctuation on the way out? Well, according to Gen Z, periods are way too proper for texting. So the New York Times wrote this article saying that the newer generations feel like it's not only, a mistake to use periods, but that they say it can come across as rude. They say that periods should only be reserved for conversations with elders or for work purposes. Are we the elders now?
Oh, not me being called an elder by a script on the TV.
By a hooligan.
By some hooligans out there not using any periods. I've known for a while that periods were considered like you might be mad.
Yeah.
So that's not new to me, but to say that it's just out, I don't know about that.
I don't know if we're going to let them make all the rules yet. I think, like if you do it in the middle of a paragraph when you're texting someone, that it's appropriate to use a period. I do find myself deleting periods at the end of a paragraph, though. Or if it's just one sentence, you got to delete the period. It seems like like the person might be upset or that they're, I don't know, disciplining.
Maybe. Yeah, no, like, I get that. But it's it's hard to read intent. Well, we were so afraid something flew off the chair. I was like, do I ignore it or do I not? Yeah, I feel like, you don't want to come off as mad because it's hard to read intent on a text message, but I definitely send off periods sometimes and I'm like, ooh, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Yeah, let me clarify here.
All right, well, you know how much we love cookies. Cookies, ice cream, whatever tasty treats. We love it here at Studio 13 Live. And a new study found that the average American actually eats about 200 cookies a year. Believe it or not, almost a third of people consider themselves cookie experts. That's us, right?
Yeah.
I think so. And 2/3 say that they have a top-tier, all-time favorite cookie in their rotation. But, that's all personal preference. So what do you think? We had this conversation and we couldn't come to a conclusion, but have you thought about it? How many cookies do you think you eat a year?
I have thought about how many cookies I eat in a year. I think I probably eat about 100 a year. About 2 a week, I would say. If it's a good week, maybe a little more.
What size cookie?
Oh, like a medium cookie.
Okay, yeah,
like the
that's
size
not
when
bad.
you buy one cookie.
Yeah.
We're lucky though, because we definitely get at least one cookie with Cookies with Tiffany every month.
I would say so. I probably eat a cookie a week for sure. It makes a week go by faster.
And it's just so much more delicious and happier. I love cookies so much. All right, this next one could get a little stinky.
Oh no.
You've been warned. If you have issues sleeping, you might consider wearing socks to bed. I don't know if I'm getting on board with this. Experts found that people who wore socks to bed actually fall asleep faster. They say they sleep longer and they woke up less often during the night than those who were barefoot. Apparently your body's core temperature drops at night, but if your body senses that your feet are cold, it might try to increase your core temperature, making it harder to fall asleep. Do you wear socks to bed?
Okay. I have a funny story about this.
Okay.
There's my mom always made me wear socks to bed because she was afraid that I'd get sick or something if I didn't. So I grew up wearing socks to bed and now I won't.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Now I've like turned it around, but maybe I need to bring it back around.
I don't know. I feel like there's other ways to keep your feet warm, like a blanket.
A blanket.
You don't need to fully put on socks. I know Kim Kardashian wears socks to bed. Random fact. Just hanging out in my brain
Kim
right
K's
there.
bedroom?
I don't know. She shares everything with the world, right? I don't think I'm getting on board with this one.
Okay,
Unless I'm like camping. That's the only time if it's actually really cold outside and I'm sleeping there, then I will.
Look, if I got to run away from a bear, I'm sleeping with my shoes on too, okay? I don't know.
You got to be prepared.
Yeah, be ready. Hey, so people are finding more ways to use AI, like planning for a perfect vacation. So we'd heard about this a little bit before, but now, of course, it's growing. TikTok users have been sharing ways that they use AI to plan their summer trips. And one woman says that she actually used ChatGPT to plan a 2-week trip to Europe for under $1,000. So even some financial components there. That's interesting. She says that normally that would take her days to plan, but it only took minutes. Now, we have our resident you know, Chat GPT hater in the house here, Carly Henderson. Would you use it? Would you use it for this?
I would use it for like the research phase of it, for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen those videos and people can say like, find me all the vegetarian restaurants within like 3 miles of this address where I'm staying, and give me, you know, all the places that where the per plate it's between $10 and $20, and make me a graph of it. And I've seen these things populate, and it's amazing. I've never tried this yet, but I think, you know, that's pretty cool.
Maybe.
Would you ever do it?
I would, because I tell myself I love the process, but it really weighs on my mind. So if somebody can narrow the options, or if a machine can narrow the options for me, then maybe I would want to make my own little touches there at the end.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I will say, it makes me want to plan a trip.
It does.
You know?
It does.
Get something going. All right, still to come, throw on your jumpsuits and your blue suede shoes, because we're honoring Elvis Presley with a tribute performance in studio.
So exciting. But first, we're giving you a look at the new Stretch Lab studio in Mercer Island, and some beginner stretches to help you out, help you stay loose and relaxed. Stay with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna make your day. Yeah, I'm gonna make.
So many of us just spend a whole lot of time sitting at our desks, sitting at home, and it really messes up your neck, your back, your legs. Yeah, it's messy.
Luckily, there's some things you can do, and it can be as simple as stretching. So joining us today, we've got Raj, Arushi, and Zach with Stretch Lab on Mercer Island. Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. Tell us all about Stretch Lab. What's it all about?
Yeah, so Stretch Lab is a unique fitness concept that focuses on one-on-one assisted stretching. It helps you in improving your flexibility, your mobility, range of motion. It helps in decreasing your stress levels, also helps in injury prevention, and it's great for sports performance as well.
So you're going to fix my life for me.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, so I've always had this idea that it's way better when someone helps you stretch versus when you're stretching by yourself, though you can stretch by yourself. Am I right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Assisted stretching. Yeah, assisted stretching is really better than, you know, stretching on your own, because you're working with a trained flexologist, and, you know, it helps you in reaching much deeper levels of stretching as what you can do on your own.
We focus on customized stretching, so as you enter into the studio, we will do a 3D body scan for you, where we do a full mobility, activation, posture, and symmetry assessment for you. We are trying to find imbalances in your body. Our aim is to bring your body back into balance, and our trained flexologists who are nationally accredited, who have years of bodywork experience, would work one-on-one with you to really focus and hone in on the areas where you need maximum focus and you need help, so that we can help you achieve your goals of moving better or being more flexible.
That sounds great. And I know, like Raj and Arushi, you own the business. What made you want to kind of jump into the world of Stretch Lab?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Mercer Island is our second studio. Our first studio we opened at Issaquah last year. We got a great response from the community. We both are friends and neighbors at Mercer Island. We live on the island, so Mercer Island is home territory for us, and we wanted to really bring this concept into Mercer Island. To rewind back a little bit, both me and Arushi bring years of corporate experience, sales, marketing, and strategy with us. We really wanted to be giving back to the community. I had a back problem several years back, and assisted stretching and stretching really helped me. So when I saw this opportunity that Stretch Lab's not really here and it's doing great in other parts of the country, there are over 300 Stretch Labs open across the US.
Wow.
And we wanted to bring this concept into Washington, closer home, and really help the community move better. We want to democratize this concept. It's not a new concept. It's been around for decades.
As we always say that, you know, everybody and everybody should be getting a stretch. So I think our main aim is to be giving it back to the community and helping people move better, you know, live longer and feel better on a daily level.
You know, I've always heard that it's not really aging that slows us down, but it's being more still and like tighter, and that's what really makes you feel like you've aged. So I think that this is a lovely idea. Are you able to show us some stretches that we can do?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
All right.
Can I jump on here?
Yeah, go ahead, lay on your back with your head up here.
This is why I'm wearing pants today.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over a few summertime stretches.
Okay.
During the summer, we travel a lot. We're on planes, car rides. We're spending a lot of time sitting down. So what happens with this is your glutes get tight and your hamstrings get tight. So we're gonna go over a couple of stretches right here. Let's go ahead and take a big, deep breath in for me and relax. I'm gonna take your leg here, relax it out. All right, we're gonna come up. I'm gonna come across here. This first stretch is for your piriformis.
Okay.
It's a small muscle in your upper glute. So I'm gonna come about 90 degrees.
Oh.
You can feel that?
I can feel that on my hips on the outside.
Good. That's where we want to feel it. That's where we want to feel it. So what we do here is called PNF stretching.
Okay.
It's proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It's a really long, fancy term for contract and release. So in a few seconds here, I'm going to have you push your knee towards me. We're going to hold that push for about 5 seconds. Then we're going to relax and see if we can get deeper into that stretch, okay? Let's go ahead and push your knee towards me. Push, 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 push.
How's it feeling?
I'm stressed, girl. But I know as a matter of fact that I'm gonna feel so much better as soon as we're done.
Go ahead and relax it out, relax. I'm gonna lean forward. Let me know when you get that tension again.
Okay.
So with each of these push and releases, they're called PNF cycles. With each of them, we're actually gaining ranges of motion right around 5 degrees for you that first time, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Progress.
So exactly.
Yes.
So for this next one, it's gonna be your hamstring.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and relax it out. The more relaxed you are, the better you're gonna feel that stretch. We're gonna keep this knee as straight as possible.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna come over here.
I do, whoa. I do deadlifts, so I know my hamstrings are tight.
Okay, so let me know.
Ooh,
Right
okay.
there?
Yeah, right
Okay,
there. This is sad. It's not even
That's okay. Keep breathing.
That means you're
keep
working
breathing.
out a lot.
I'm working
Exactly.
out. Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so go ahead, push through that hamstring into me. Push, push, push. And relax.
Okay.
And we're gonna keep coming forward.
Oh, that's
You
a lot
see
better
that?
already.
Especially with this
wow.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Right there. How's it
Right
feeling?
there, right there. Okay, so it feels very intense, but then as soon as I get to push back, just immense relaxation after that.
So what PNFing does, the contract and release, we're getting you into these flexible positions, then we're contracting the muscle going against it. So we're actually building strength around that joint. So instead of just being weak and flexible, we're actually building that mobility as well.
Nice.
All right, so for this last one, people like to go backpacking, hiking a lot, especially in the Pacific Northwest.
Girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wearing heavy stuff on your back, it can tend to bring your shoulders forward. So go ahead, sit up for me, face the studio.
Okay.
All right, so for this one, I'm gonna put my knee into your upper mid-back.
Oh, okay.
Brace yourself.
My knees are a little bit bony, I apologize. Go ahead, lock your fingers behind your head for me.
Okay.
We're gonna look up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna pull back on your elbows. And let me know when you get that tension again, okay?
I got some tension.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I feel like
Wait,
you're
is
really
this bad? Is
stretched
this
right
really
now.
bad or is it okay?
I stretch a lot of people. You're about,
Okay.
I'll give you about
I'm
average.
medium.
Okay.
I'm medium.
So go ahead, bring your elbows forward for me.
Okay. Oof.
And relax.
Is it hard to do, Mireya? Or
I feel like, well, with the assistance, it doesn't feel that hard. I think, like, I couldn't do this by myself, obviously.
Right.
Ooh, okay. Very
Especially if
good.
the assisted, it keeps people accountable, much like a
Right,
personal
right.
trainer does. You got to go in and you got to get stretched.
Yeah.
What is like the ideal number of times someone should be stretching in a day?
Ooh.
We want to hit.
So ideally, our members come in at least once a week for a 50-minute session. It's a full body stretch. It goes through a 26-point program. It's major and minor muscle groups, and that really helps you get started and go beyond what you can. But we also have homework exercises where we want you to continue doing some stretching on your own 10 to 15-minute routine every day to be able to track that progress.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, I feel pretty good.
Good.
Great
Like I
job.
said, yeah.
I could do that on TV. Well, thank you all so much for coming. This has been extra wonderful for me, but you know what I mean? We had a great time. And we posted some, yes, of course. We do have more info on Stretch Lab on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
You want me to do that for you next time?
Yeah. You got a teacher so she can help me.
All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, we are celebrating the king of rock and roll with award-winning tribute artist Danny Vernon, where you can catch his upcoming performances around the region.
And don't forget, if you missed anything on today's show, you can find it on our website. Head to fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
I'm gonna make your day.
This week, the world is celebrating the king of rock and roll with tribute performances around the country, from Graceland in Memphis all the way to Emerald Queen Casino in Tacoma.
Today, we are joined by a local award-winning Elvis Presley tribute artist, Danny Vernon, the illusion of Elvis. Welcome.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Okay, so when did you become a big Elvis fan, and when did you decide to become a tribute artist?
Well, I became a fan as soon as I heard one song, which is a very obscure song, but I think I was attached, just felt the resonance of his voice at like 6 years old. I found a 45 record, and there was something to it, even without even knowing really who he was.
Yeah.
And I spent many years singing in my bedroom alone, and he was kind of a surrogate friend, you know,
Yeah.
through the tough years of adolescence.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd touch the speaker to feel, you know, the resonance of the sound of the speaker, and it was very comforting.
So you've really felt moved by Elvis since you were a teenager. How long would you say it kind of took you to become Elvis, from like the voice to the hair? I heard you even have like a pink Cadillac. Tell us about this transformation.
Well, yeah, the Cadillac came later. I never thought that I was going to be Elvis for a career.
Yeah.
But I've always loved him, and it's always been a great response. He kind of brought out that I like to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went off singing all other types of music, and I still do. But Elvis has always been a mainstay. It's always pleased people, made people happy, helped them cope with life in a lot of ways. And so thank God, thank you guys for the fans.
Yeah,
They've
absolutely.
given me so much support, as well as physical stuff like guitars from Linda and Les Peterson, and a 1956 pink Cadillac.
I love it.
Very nice. Okay, so you talked to us about what Elvis meant to you when you were, you know, a teenager growing up, but how has that transformed as you've become an adult? What does he mean to you today?
Well, he means the world. You know, actually, during COVID, I was moving, after 20 years, I started moving refrigerators and pianos, and was enjoying that for a while. And I met an East Indian couple in Issaquah, and they spoke English, but they didn't know who Elvis Presley was.
Whoa.
I was like, Elvis Presley. And I'm thinking, wow, what would it mean to never know who Elvis Presley is? And to me, it's like I couldn't even compare him with Santa Claus or Walt Disney. He means so much to me, and he's brought so many good people in my life, and it's just been a wonderful, lifelong experience.
And you've been recognized for your, you know, performance as well. You know, you've been doing this more than 2 decades.
Wow.
This guy was named a top 10 Elvis tribute
time.
artist in the world in 2010. I mean, one of the many achievements that you've received throughout the years. What's been the most meaningful recognition you've gotten?
It's been a while ago. That was before my titanium hip. I think one of the best contests was in Palm Springs. It was called Weekend with the King, and it was the judges. It was very, very rare to do this, where Elvis's entourage, like his backup singer, his bodyguard, and they voted me Best Young Elvis, and that's a thrill.
Hey, how
Wonderful.
about that? Well, you're going to be performing all around the state of Washington for Elvis Week. And right now, we're going to get a little sneak peek of your performance. Take it away.
Are we live?
We are
Yeah,
live,
let's go.
baby.
We got a new song from 1956. You know I can be found. I said home all alone.
Okay.
You can't come around. Well, at least please telephone. I see I'm still being filmed by the waist up. Oh, here we go. You are, that's true. Oh, baby, if I made you mad for something that I might have said, please, let's forget the past. Ooh, it's getting warm over here. Don't be cruel to what is true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Well, don't stop thinking of me. Don't make me feel this way. Come on over here and love me. You know what I want you to say. Don't be cruel to what is true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby. Cross my heart. How's my guitar sound? Let's walk up to the preacher and let her say I do. Sorry, I walked off the stage. And I know that I'll have you. Don't be cruel to what is true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to what is true. Don't be cruel to what is true. Well, I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, ladies.
I felt the king.
Can I have some security up here?
Nice
The
fans
fans
right
are taking over. Oh, wow, this was amazing.
How does it kind of feel when you're on stage and there's a crowd of people that are just vibing with your music? What does that feel like?
Well, it's tremendous. It's fantastic. It's a very warm experience. It's almost like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
But it's hard to explain.
Best feeling in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty close.
absolutely. I bet it is. So, we know Elvis Presley
Squeaking
died
here.
on August 16th at the age of 42, and you're honoring his legacy with these performances
Always.
all around the state. So where can people find you?
Well, we're going to be at the Emerald Queen Casino on this Wednesday, August 16th. There's still some tickets to be picked up. They're complimentary tickets if you come a couple hours before the show.
Nice.
We'll be in the showroom with my band, the DeVilles. And then we'll be at the Muckleshoot 18th and 19th.
Okay.
But DannyVernon.com is where you find out where I'm all over the Northwest.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Before you go, can you teach us how to do a little lip, Elvis
The
lip
Elvis
movement?
lip.
How do we
Well-
do that?
Okay.
I got a little tip from the massage therapist. You got to pull it a little bit.
You got to stretch.
You got to
pull it.
loosen it up
Okay.
and shake your leg a little.
Oh, the leg shake.
Sometimes I use both sides. I use both lips. Depending upon what side the audience is on.
Oh, very nice. You got the moves down for sure.
Thank you very much. How is it?
Carly's got it.
She's got it
Look
down.
at that.
Well, you're
I
the
just
king.
look
You are
like
the
I'm
king.
baring my teeth, so no.
This is amazing. I mean, you've got so many decades of Elvis's career in your performance too. Everyone's got to come check you out. So we've got a little bit more info on our website.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. And again, you can find a link with more info on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna make your day.